Decentralized finance is already revolutionizing the world of finance. You just don't know it yet.
What happens to the world economy when you bring 6 billion new people online? What happens to poverty across the world when you can extend financial services, opportunity, credit, liquidity?
The greatest dislocation of wealth in human history. What are you going to do? What's the choice that you're going to make? Welcome to DeFi Live. My name is Brian Rose. I am the founder of London Real, and this is our program covering everything known as DeFi or decentralized finance. This is a $9 trillion a year marketplace, and it's just waiting to explode. Here, I'm going to teach you how to profit from crypto and DeFi and what I'm calling the greatest dislocation of wealth in human history. This is exciting times, and today I specifically want to talk about something that's in the news, and that is how to trade crypto in times of war and crisis. I don't want you to make these 3 common mistakes. So stay with me here today. Pay attention. I'm going to cover a lot in the next 15 minutes. Before we get started, I just want to send out a lot of love and support and peace to everybody here who's struggling through this time of war and crisis. You know, at London Real for the last 10 years, I've been broadcasting conversations with people so we can better understand each other, so we can have information and we can all come together as one. We do not condone or encourage or, even ever acknowledge or allow times of war. We don't think that's the right solution. Violence is never the right thing to do. So sending peace and love out and support to everybody who's affected by this. We will find a way through. Calmer minds will prevail. And again, just sending that out. I hope this all ends very, very quickly. Today, I want to talk about what happens when we see these crisis situations and what happens in the financial markets. I've been in the financial markets for almost 30 years. I started in 1993 when I was 22 years old on Wall Street, and I've seen every crisis under the sun. I've seen the Asian crisis. I've seen the Russian crisis, the first one. I've seen the mortgage crisis. I was in New York City when 9/11 happened. I've seen the way the markets are affected. And one thing I do know is not to panic during these times, because usually that's the wrong thing to do. And I want to talk about that today. Today, I'm going to talk about 3 things. First is why war and crisis creates panic and how you can stay calm and make measured decisions right now. And guess what? There will be more of these in the future. We need to get used to it. Second of all, I want you to watch the S&P 500, because watching these equity markets is going to show you what's going to happen in these crypto markets. And the truth is this is a $2 trillion a year, $2 trillion asset class, and it now starts to behave like the big boy asset classes: bonds, real estate, stocks. And I'm going to teach you about today. Third thing I want to talk about, and that's the real war that's happening right now, folks. The real war is not happening in Ukraine. The real war is an information war, and it's happening right now on your mobile device, and it's been happening for years. You just don't realize that that's happening, and I want you to be aware of that situation. So those are the 3 things I want to talk about today. Again, if you're here on Zoom, please turn cameras up and give me the thumbs up if you're here on Zoom. If you want to join us on Zoom, I'm taking questions first to people on Zoom with cameras on. Go to londonreal.tv/Zoom. Just give me a big wave if you're here on Zoom. Let me see your smiling faces. Great to see you here. Appreciate seeing cameras. Leave me a post right here on the Zoom chat. Just tell me what city you're in, because it's great to see our global audience that we have in here. So let's get started. Before we get started, I just want to say I'm not a financial advisor. None of this should be considered financial advice. Also, our next DeFi Accelerator starts tonight, literally in 6 hours from now. I'll be live here at 6 p.m. London time giving my first talk. We've got an incredible class of students from all around the world that are basically choosing to embrace crypto and DeFi now and get their wallets sorted out, get their coins sorted out, understand their finance, because when there's a crisis, whether it's in Ukraine or in Canada, when the Prime Minister decides to freeze the assets of people that protest, you want to get your money right. And you want to have that done before the crisis happens. So don't sleep on this. I'm telling you, don't wait on DeFi and crypto until next year or next month or next week. Pull the trigger now. You can join me tonight. There's a few spots left, and I'll show you how to do that soon. Couple final things I want to say is that I look at everything from a long-term perspective. And that's why in times of crisis and in times of non-crisis, I like to quote Sun Tzu from The Art of War. He's a very famous general from back in the day in China, and he says this: Every battle is won before it's ever fought. Let me say that one more time. Every battle is won before it's ever fought. And that's something we should always be thinking about, especially during times of crisis. Stay measured, have a long-term perspective, and that's what's going to get you through these times. So again, this is all stuff that I teach inside my DeFi Academy, and these are trading philosophies and market knowledge I picked up over the last 30 years of working on Wall Street, here in the city of London, in Chicago, even down on the pits of Chicago. And this is what I teach inside my academy. And look, we all know this. Forbes magazine recently said that DeFi will, quote unquote, shift the structure of the whole financial system at a macroeconomic level. And the truth is plainly this, and I've said it before and I'll say it again. Decentralized finance is already revolutionizing the world. You just don't know it yet. So get on board, pull the trigger. This incredible marketplace is growing at a breakneck speed. It's going to generate trillions of dollars in opportunities, and it's going to give financial freedom back to the 4 billion people in this world that don't have basic access to financial services. This is a human right that should be respected right now, your right to financial freedom. And we are making this happen in the background, and it's all kicking off this year, and I couldn't be more excited. My team and I have decided to go all in on this space for the next 10 years. We have two goals in mind. One is to help you create generational wealth for you, your family, and your friends and your community. And the second is to help us build the decentralized finance infrastructure of the future. That's it. That's why I'm here for the next 10 years, and we are loving it. In the meantime, we've graduated hundreds and hundreds of students from my DeFi Academy. I've had over 50 of the best guests in crypto, the top blockchain providers, and I'm also investing in early stage companies through London Real Ventures. We are not only talking the talk, we are walking the walk. And I'm telling you folks, this is fun. This is where you want to be. My daughter is in crypto. My mom's in crypto. Everybody I know is in crypto, and this is the future, and we couldn't be more excited. All right, today I want to talk about three things. So stay tuned and pay attention to what I'm saying. The first thing I want to talk about is why war and crisis creates panic, and how you can stay calm and make measured decisions. I'm putting up a graph here right now, which you can see the market reaction to previous wars. And again, you can see the Vietnam War, the Gulf War, Afghanistan War, Iraq War, Crimean War, Ukrainian War. That's the big question mark. You can see equity markets react. And again, I've been there and done that. I've seen all the scenarios. Like I said, I was on the ground in New York City during 9/11. I saw, like I said, the Russian crisis of 98, the Asian crisis of 97, 98. I saw the mortgage crisis of 2008. I've seen the Latin American crisis. I've been through all of these things, and I've been in the financial markets, and I know what to do and what not to do. The thing you don't want to do is panic, and I want to talk about that a little bit more today. Lastly, I just want to say on this point, you want to take a long-term perspective, and let me put this graph up, because this is the price of Ethereum over the past, what is this, say 5 years. What do you see? You see a long-term growth rate, and you also see over the past 1 year, some incredible buying rates for a lot of the cryptocurrency instruments right now. Some of these things are half price from their highs back in October. And I'm just saying, there's always incredible opportunities during times of crisis, but guess what? They only belong to those with level heads. So keep this in mind when all of these things are happening. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice, but it's important to look at the long-term trends and the price histories when these kinds of crazy things are happening. So that's point one. I'm going to come back to that shortly. The second thing I want to talk about is how crypto is correlated to the S&P 500. This is really, really important, and I'll put up a graph right now. This is the total crypto market cap, and the way you saw it gap when the news of the action in Ukraine happened, and you can see how it was down 15%. You can see this big gap of value, and this is what happens when people panic and they get out of assets. And what's really interesting is that you can see, according to this next graph, that the same thing happens with the S&P 500. So you see back-to-back, two different asset classes of that drop-off. And what you see is this, is that crypto has now joined the big boys club. It's a big asset class worth $2 trillion. Probably in the future will be worth 10 trillion, 100 trillion. And it's something that people move money in and out of because they do what? They move money into high-quality assets during times of crisis. On Wall Street, we call this the flight to quality. And what you'll see is that people buy US dollars and US Treasury during times of crisis. Why? Because it's the safest thing to own in the world. Now, I'm not saying that the US monetary policy is something we're all big fans of. I'm not saying that the U.S. is number one, but when you have an asset that's backed by the full faith and credit of the United States of America, which is a dollar or dollar-denominated security, treasury bonds, it's the safest thing out there, and you'll see people move things into dollars when there's panic out there. They do it by selling real estate, by selling stocks, and by selling crypto as well. And it's something that we need to be aware of, and also it can mean tremendous buying opportunities as well. So that's point number two. The last thing I want to talk about is the real war going on here, and it's not the war that's happening in Ukraine and Russia. It's the war that's happening right now in your own brain, and that's the information war. If you're on Zoom here, give me a thumbs up if you know what I'm talking about, if you know exactly what I mean. We were on the front lines of the information war in 2020. I literally feel like we were in the trenches. We had the machine guns. We had the Molotov cocktails because I was fighting up against a big enemy known as social media platforms, YouTube's, Facebook, Instagrams, Dropbox, PayPal's, and they were trying to shut down our information war. So I am well aware of what this war is like, an asymmetric war, and it's still being fought today, and you can see it being played out right now on our news media. So be careful of the information you consume because it's a war going on inside your brain. And that is what's being magnified by the military conflict right now in the Ukraine. And this is a very, very important point, and one I think that we can make because we lived through it. And again, look at some of the headlines. New York Times, right? Russian troops enter Kiev. They're all caps headlines. They're trying to get your attention and control your brain to get you to act on the back of that. All right, so just be aware. This is what these media companies do. The next headline I want you to see up there is something from the Times here in London. Putin puts nuclear force on alerts. Again, trying to get your attention through fear by now introducing the nuclear narrative. Now, I'm not saying these aren't plausible narratives, but I'm also understanding that everyone in the world right now is terrified by this, and they're using that information and that attention to get you to change your behavior, which is dangerous if you don't know what's happening. Next headline we see from The Guardian here today. I see somebody on the ground with machine guns pointed at their head. Again, an image is used there to get your attention, to get you to do something on the back of it. Clickbait, maybe trade crypto on the back of it. If you make that decision, make sure you make the decision, not someone else makes that decision before you. And the final part of the information war is something you saw today, which is Russian hikes interest rates, and everybody's going to the banks to pull their rubles out of the bank. And you see this people lining up, waiting to get into the bank. Now, this narrative is controlled by the West, right? As they try to wreak economic warfare on Russia based on what they've done in Ukraine. Again, remember, all of this is an information war, and you and I are caught in the middle. So make sure you make choices about the information you put in your brain and the decisions you make on the back of it, including your crypto trading decisions. Very important to understand there's the war that's happening, and then there's the perception of that war. And that all changes your behavior, which is what everyone's trying to do. Even President Putin is trying to get you to change your behavior. That's what he's trying to do with this military action. And the information war is a massive part of it. And again, who are the best at this? The Russians are very good at it. The Chinese are very good at it. The Americans are very good at this. It's an information war. So make sure you're not caught in the middle of it. All right, folks, we're going to go really quick into this. I want your questions. They're coming right here to my iPad from Instagram, from YouTube, from Facebook, from Zoom. If you're on Zoom here and you have your camera on, I take your question first. If you want to join us on Zoom, it's londonreal.tv/Zoom. Turn cameras on, please. If you're on Zoom, my camera's on. I got dressed up for you today. Answer these questions for me right now if you're on Zoom. First of all, do you panic in times of war and crisis, and how? Please explain. Second, are you making poor crypto trading decisions right now? Explain how. Third, do you believe that crisis presents an excellent buying opportunity? Yes or no? And finally, how would you like to learn from me about how to profit from crypto and DeFi, what I'm calling the greatest dislocation of wealth in human history? So leave those questions right now. I'm coming to them shortly. Before we get started, everybody's been sending me direct messages over the weekend saying, Brian, how do I learn about crypto? I know this is important. I see what's happening in the markets. I see what's happening in Ukraine. I see what's happening in Canada. How can I start my journey? Easy. Join my academy. It's super simple. If you click on londonreal.tv/DeFi, you'll see this page that comes up right above here, and you can take 60 seconds and apply to join my 4-week blockchain bootcamp. It's that simple. You get me 2 hours live a week. I put a suit and tie on every single call. I literally do. You can show up just for what my colors are. And tonight at 6 p.m., I'll be going hard for a full hour plus with my students from all over the world. We've graduated, I think, over 1,000 students from over 50 countries. A lot of these are out there making money in the crypto space and have been for 6 months based on our training and our protocols. Don't get left behind. The time to learn about crypto is not a year from now, a month from now, or a week from now. Look, we didn't see any of this stuff coming in the Ukraine and Russia. We didn't see Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau freezing people's bank accounts. Those people wish they had crypto right now. Don't sleep on this. Join our academy. Take 60 seconds to apply. I read the applications personally. Again, 4-week blockchain bootcamp, londonreal.tv/DeFi, and join me. And I'm going to teach you how to profit from the greatest dislocation of wealth in human history. I'm taking a small group of serious people through my training. I want partners, collaborators, colleagues who want to join forces with me and help build this decentralized financial infrastructure of the future. I want people who want to create generational wealth for them and their families. That's it. And let me just say, you don't get rich overnight quick in crypto. If you want to get rich quick or get rich overnight, go somewhere else. I'm talking about taking years to build this wealth, but to have it for a generation. And again, we've got limited number of spaces available. We start tonight. It's application only, takes you 60 seconds, 4 weeks, 4 modules, 8 hours of live calls with me. I've got an accountability system. I've got team leaders. We take action. We get you hot wallets, cold wallets. You invest in your coins. You yield swap, liquidity pools. You name it, we do it. I've been teaching this stuff for 7 years. It's absolutely incredible. We got a limited number of spaces available. If you apply and you're accepted by me, then you'll get an email that looks like this. This is the application, your application being accepted, and it says, your application to be part of the DeFi Academy has been successful. I'm telling you, if you see that email or that email's in your inbox, go find it now, click on it. I'm telling you, pull out that plastic, bang in those digits, and join me. It'll be the best investment you ever make of your life. Again, invest in yourself. That's what you should always do. This is education that's going to completely change the game. This is the best academy in the world when it comes to crypto. 4 weeks, I bring you up to speed, live, community, accountability. You got me. And in 4 weeks from now, you'll know exactly what to do, and you'll have financial independence and freedom. That's what's most important. So that's who it's for. One thing, my academy, I just want to say it's not for certain people. I do not want you in my academy, and please do not apply if you're one of the following people. First of all, if you're a crypto day trader, please, please, please go somewhere else. 90% of crypto day traders lose money. Why? Because you sell your crypto on the back of news of war. You sell your crypto when China bans it. You sell your crypto in panic. And that's the way most people trade crypto. I'm not looking for those types of people. I'm looking for people who want to learn how to long-term invest in these things as well. I'm also not looking for people that want to get rich quick. Please go somewhere else. In crypto, there's 1,000 people that want to show you how to get rich quick. That's not what I'm doing here. I'm taking 10 years to invest in this infrastructure and this ecosystem. And talk to me 10 years from now. We can compare our bank accounts 10 years from now. So it's not for get rich quick people. It's not also for meme coin fans and internet trolls. Again, please go somewhere else. Waste your time somewhere else. It's also not for blockchain fanboys and crypto academics. We pull the trigger in my course. We invest in coins. We use protocols. We get involved. We get our hands dirty. We get into the arena and we go into battle is what we do. And so that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for those types of people. And again, if you go right now and apply for my course at londonreal.tv/DeFi, I want to give you a free gift, which is my 8-step trading checklist. This is the way all of my students, they look through this list before they go ahead and trade. And it's a great way to make yourselves calm and make yourselves accountable before you put on that trade. Again, my students don't trade on mobile devices in the middle of the night. We have a complete way that we do this, so we don't trade and panic on information, a lot like what we're seeing with this war. So I look forward to you seeing me. Again, take 60 seconds and apply. Change your future today. You will need this stuff sooner than you expected. And again, the citizens of Canada, the citizens of Ukraine, and maybe Russia didn't think they needed crypto a month ago. Guess what? You do. You always need financial freedom. Start today. Again, my mom's doing this. My daughter's doing this. You need to do it as well. So some questions for you to leave for me below. Tell me, do you panic in times of war and crisis, and how? Are you making poor crypto trading decisions? Please explain. Do you believe that this crisis presents an excellent buying opportunity? And lastly, how would you like to learn from me when it comes from DeFi and what I'm calling the greatest dislocation of wealth in human history? All right, let's get started, folks. I'm going to answer your questions shortly, but let's talk about why war and crisis creates panic, how you can stay calm and make measured decisions. I want to pull up my graph again. This is the graph of stock markets within months of some major wars in the past. And again, you'll see these graphs on screen right now. You see the Vietnam War. You'll see the Gulf War. You'll see the Afghanistan War. You'll see the Iraq War. And you'll see the Crimean War, which was back in 2014 when Putin moved in to another former part of Ukraine. What do you see on all of those markets? What you see is the equity markets almost all recovered within weeks and months. They went back up. What you'll also see from those graphs, which is interesting, a lot of them went down before the invasion happened. Because before the invasion, the markets saw it coming and they kind of sold off when they went into that invasion. And again, these graphs are very, very typical of crisis. And again, I've been through these crises on the trading floors of some of the biggest institutions in Europe and on Wall Street. And to be very candid with you, I was in New York City during 9/11. I was in London during the bombings of London. I was on a trading desk doing business with my clients, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Royal Bank of Scotland. I was on the phone while this stuff was all happening. I was there the next day. I took the tube the next day after there were bombs in the tube. I was in those financial markets. And what I can tell you is calm heads need to prevail in these times. And again, like I said, I always send support out to everybody who's going through these challenging times and suffering. But guess what? The financial markets continue, and your money is invested in these protocols. And right now, your pension funds are in these equities, and you are having P&Ls, whether you know it or not. You probably have crypto, and you're watching this go in and out. So first of all, remember that short term, the markets panic, but long term, oftentimes these present incredible buying opportunities, and you want to be aware of these things. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, but I want you to be aware of these things. And again, I've been through that. I've been through so many crises, short-term panics. I've been through invasions. I've been through bombings. I've been through also, squeezes in Asia with Russian ruble denominations. I've seen the mortgage crisis up close and personal. I went through the whole thing and traded through the whole piece. And I saw, again, years later, incredible buying opportunities at those levels. So have a calm head. 3 months ago, 4 months ago, my students were complaining to me that crypto was never going to get back to levels that were viable. Now we're literally at half price. 3 months from now, will you be one of those people that wish they would have bought now? This is what I teach inside my Crypto and DeFi Academy. One more graph I want to put up while we make this point is look at the price of Ethereum over the past, say, 5 years. Look at this graph. This will show you, Ethereum, just as an idea, was below 1,000. Back even in 2020, 19, 18, 17, it went as high as $4,800. Right now, it's down to about $2,600. Again, almost half the price that it was, many, many months ago. Look at this thing from a long-term perspective. Look at that average price graph. Look at all of these cryptocurrencies and ask yourself this question. Is this a technology shift, a shift in human paradigm? Will Bitcoin be worth something significant in 10 years from now? Will DeFi and crypto be a major part of our financial infrastructure 10 years from now? I say yes to all of these things. I know these things, which is why I'm invested for the next 10 years. So when I see these markets come off, when I see volatility in crypto, for me, I'm buying for the long run. And for me, I ask myself, well, maybe these could be incredible buying opportunities. Let's take a big, deep breath. And let me say one final thing that I've said to my students recently. You know what? Crypto's bigger than the Ukraine. Crypto's bigger than the state of California. Crypto's bigger even than China. The innovations will happen. The progress will be made regardless of these temporary situations. And if you believe in this new technology, if you believe in this infrastructure, then you're investing for the long term. Think of the internet back when it started or got big in 92, 93, 94, all the way up until 99 when I was in the dot-com boom. That technology kept progressing through wars, through conflicts. Why? Because it was a better solution. And this will progress as well. And that's my message to everybody out there. And this is what we teach inside our academy. So let me go to questions right now. Do you panic in times of war and crisis, and how? Are you making poor crypto trading decisions right now? Do you believe this crisis presents some great opportunities to buy? And of course, how would you like to learn from me in crypto and DeFi in my academy on how to profit from the greatest dislocation of wealth in human history? I'm going to my questions right now. And again, if you want to ask me questions, come to Instagram, come to Facebook or YouTube, or even here on Zoom would be great. M has 10 on Instagram that says, let's go Ukraine. And great that we're sending out tons of support to all the people there. and giving you our positive energy. We got Golden Air, the Instagram that says, let's go, Brian. Thank you so much. I got Nikki Shepard here on Zoom that says, I'm here from Little Nottingham standing as Robin Hood. Okay, good for you, man. We appreciate all the support that's coming out here as well. Chris on Instagram and says, hell yeah, my brother did your class. Let's do this. Appreciate that, Chris. We have so many graduates from around the world that just learn so much when it comes to crypto and DeFi, when it comes to our academy, and we appreciate everybody out there as well. I got Fierce Bubbles on Instagram that says, what's the best crypto in your opinion to invest in? You know, the best question is have some crypto. You know, I was speaking to someone this weekend and they said, yeah, I'm learning about it. I'm reading a book. And I'm like, what crypto do you own? They're like, oh, I haven't yet. I'm like, all right, I'm going to send you some stable coins, some Ethereum, some Bitcoin. That's how we start. And once you have those, you can see the power of crypto. Again, if you're in Canada right now, you're in Ukraine, you're in Russia, right now you would love it if you had some stable coin. That would be a no-brainer asset to have. Some Bitcoin, some Ethereum that you could use whenever you wanted, and a government or a bank couldn't stop you based on their warfare actions, their restrictions, their censorship. That's what you want. Start now. Don't wait till next week. Again, next week could be too late. You know, a week ago here, I wouldn't have been talking about this crisis in Ukraine. 2 weeks ago, I wouldn't have been talking about Canada. You want to be prepared now. When did Noah build the ark? Before the storm. So build your ark now and make sure you prepare in these asset classes. So great questions. Keep them coming in here. Carl Shedrick on Facebook says the first casualty of war is the truth. And that's a great point. We'll talk about the information war coming here in section 3. And I'll talk about how to process all of these informations. By the way, I want to shout out Neri, who just joined our Crypto and DeFi Academy. We just gave him a gong to the bell. So we appreciate you joining us. I need you to get into our Facebook group, to get into our modules, to watch that. And I'll see you on the live call tonight at 6 p.m. And I've got Andrew Harvey here on Zoom that says, panic is for people with no self-determination. So no, I do not panic. I embrace the ability to respond. Great. And Andrew, that's what we want. That's why we have a great community of people inside our academy, because we're literally hundreds of people that can all have a conversation with ourselves. By the way, all the people in my academy are real people with real names. They don't have fake names and Instagram handles with CryptoPunk, you know, things. They're real people that are located in real cities that have real vlogs and real portfolios. And that's how we talk to each other in times of crisis, and we actually ask real questions. Also, I'm real, which helps. And so we really talk about it. I've been up front. You can see my investments in early stage ventures through London Real Ventures. I talk to the best people in crypto here twice a week for real. So this is all really, really, really important. So great stuff. Keep those questions coming. Let me get into part 2 here, which is really important. And I want to talk about why we need to look at other markets besides crypto, including stock markets and the S&P 500 in America. And before we go there, I want to put up what the total crypto market cap did last week when the Russian invasion happens. You can see this. And by the way, this chart came from our DeFi Academy research team. And we put out an incredible amount of daily research that's given access by our DeFi Academy. So when you join my academy, you get our incredible daily research coming from my team. And again, they could show here how the total market cap of crypto, by the way, which is the total value of all crypto, dropped by 15% when this invasion happened. We can see the way that crypto responded, and it's important to know what's happening and to have people who can really look at these charts on a daily basis, which is us. What's most important about that chart is also the next chart that I'm going to put up. And in this next chart, you can see how while Bitcoin went down, we also saw the S&P 500 drop. And this is a very, very important thing, because guess what? Crypto has now joined the big boys when it comes to the size of the market. This is a $2 trillion marketplace, soon to probably become 10, 20, 50, 100 trillion. And right now, it's a real asset class. And because it's an asset class, people will move their assets into dollars in times of crisis. And that's what we saw here. You can see that graph on the left where people got out of Bitcoin into stablecoin or US dollars. People got out of US stocks and got into US dollars. Now, why do people do this? This is one of the first lessons I got taught as a junior trader in 1993 on the 33rd floor of Bankers Trust Plaza. I was 22 years old, and I had a bunch of traders there that were yelling at me a lot, breaking phones, sometimes pushing and shoving each other. And they said, Brian, it's called flight to quality, you dummy, is usually what they said. And I said, what's that mean? I just came from MIT and the Sloan School of Finance, and I had a fancy degree, which they were not impressed with, by the way. And they said, Brian, in times of crisis, people move their assets into US dollars and US Treasuries. Why? Because it's the safest thing in the world to own, period. Period. It's just the safest thing. Now, it doesn't mean that the US doesn't have its problems. It doesn't mean that the US isn't printing money like a madman and devaluating the dollar. But it means it's the safest thing to own versus the pounds, versus the yen, versus the euro, versus the ruble, versus a tech stock, versus a cryptocurrency, because the US ultimately has a lot of money. They got a lot of guns. They got a lot of military. They have a lot of technology. They have a lot of resolve. And so it's the best brand out there. And people buy it in terms of crisis. And so it's important to understand that that's what's happening here a lot of times. It doesn't mean that Bitcoin suddenly lost its value. It means people are panicking because of crisis, because of information, because of potentially war, whatever that word means. And they're moving their assets into dollars and out of crypto, real estate, stocks, etc. If you're on Zoom, does that concept make sense to everybody here? It's important. It's called the flight to quality. And it doesn't necessarily mean that all of a sudden people love the U.S. or love U.S. Treasury bonds. I mean, the yield is terrible on those things. But it means if you're really worried about losing all your money, it's the safest place to put it in times of panic. And this is a real reality now here in crypto. And from now on, we can't look at crypto independently of everything else. Whereas 2-3 years ago, crypto was not correlated to the stock market so much because people didn't look at it like an asset class. It was still something that was kind of the known as the future. The crypto geeks, the developers, all those people knew it was a new thing. Now, let's be honest, you've got big money managers that are getting in and out of crypto assets. More to come in the future, and it's going to start behaving like any normal asset class, which means this. If you're in crypto and you're trading it, you have to start watching the S&P 500 because stock markets are now correlated to crypto. And when you see those things sell off or those things rally, your crypto is going to be trading on the back of it. And if you're trading crypto, you need to understand it. And this is one of the many things I teach inside my Crypto and DeFi Academy. In Module 4, we teach you how to position your portfolio for the future. My 10-coin rule, my 30-day watch list, our transparent portfolios. We teach you how to buy, sell these things, etc. And that's one of the many things that we do. And I want to talk about that shortly. Just a few questions for you before we jump in here. And I think we also maybe had a video asset, which I'll probably play at the end of this right now coming up. But before we do that, let me get your questions from you, and then I'm going to play this video asset. First of all, do you panic in times of war and crisis, and how? Secondly, are you making poor crypto decisions now? And tell me more about it. Do you believe this crisis presents an excellent buying opportunity? And finally, how would you like to learn from me about how to profit from DeFi and the greatest dislocation of wealth in human history? I think we have a video we're going to play right now, and it's something I shot last week. And it's basically understanding crypto in times of crisis. And I think it's a really important video, and we're just going to play it for you right now. In times of crisis, you want your money in a liquid place that you can control, that you can understand, that you can move to where you want it. And look, the world right now is a complicated place. There's a lot of strange things happening and dangerous things happening in the world. And what I know through 30 years of experience in the financial markets, and I've seen it all. I've seen the Russian crisis, the Asian crisis, the mortgage crisis. I've gone through very catastrophic events happening around the world. And what I do know is this, is I like to know that I control where my money is and that I can move my money from one place to another and give it from one person to the next person to another person. And that's what I see in crypto. That's what I see in decentralized finance. That's what I see in the blockchain. And that's why I like right now that I've got a portion of my assets allocated in crypto and DeFi assets, because that way I can move it when I want to move it. I don't need the permission of certain people. I don't need the blessing of a government or of a financial institution. I can literally move it on the blockchain with an app on my phone. And that's why I've been teaching these protocols for the past year. That's why I have my DeFi Academy. That's why I speak to some of the greatest guests on the world. That's why we have our own London Real Ventures piece. And if you want to learn how to do this with your own money, if you want to learn how to move your funds via a hot wallet or a cold wallet, that's exactly what I teach inside my DeFi Academy. It's a 4-week blockchain boot camp where I have team leaders. We've got hundreds of students from around the world, from over 50 countries, and we hold you accountable to get these things done. All the things that you've been putting off and thinking about and hearing about, I'm talking about actually investing in the Bitcoins, the Ethereums, the Solanas. I'm talking about getting yield on those instruments. I'm talking about moving them around and positioning them for the future, because I want two things. One, to help my students create generational wealth for them and their families. And two, for them to help us build the decentralized financial infrastructure of the future. And that's what I do inside the DeFi Academy. Take 60 seconds right now, click the link below, and send me your application. I'll read it personally. You can learn more about what we provide. I teach these courses for 2 hours a week live. That's me. You'll see right in front of those Zoom calls. You'll be connected with hundreds of students from around the world that are putting these protocols into place. You'll also be connected with hundreds of my graduates who are literally positioning their portfolios for the future. They're involved in early stage companies. They're learning all about these protocols. So click the link below or go to londonreal.tv/DeFi and get involved now. This is the future, but you've got to take this first step yourself. I'm telling you, protect your money. The world is a crazy place right now. There's a lot of uncertainty. You want to understand where your money is, be able to move it across borders with ease, and be able to take it with you wherever you're going around the world or whatever is happening. So click the link below. Invest in yourself through education right now. Join us. The DeFi Academy is amazing. I teach this live myself, and I am plugged into what's happening here in blockchain. It's the future of money. It is the internet of money. It is where technology meets finance, meets the future. And I look forward to teaching you. Again, click the link below. Take 60 seconds to apply. I'll read your application personally, and hopefully you'll take this incredible journey with me. Start today. Don't let this wait until next week or next month or next year, because things are happening and you want to control your money. Do it through crypto. Start now. And I hope you enjoyed that video. That was me just talking about times of crisis and a bit of reflection on that. Again, ask me your questions now on any platform. Tell me, do you panic in times of war and crisis, and how? Are you making poor crypto trading decisions right now? Do you think that this crisis presents an excellent buying opportunity? And lastly, how would you like to learn from me when it comes to crypto and DeFi inside my academy on what I'm calling the greatest dislocation of wealth in human history? Just a few questions before I get to my last point here. Some amazing ones. I got Super Zapper here on YouTube that says, how should we trade during recessions and market crashes? Well, it's a great question. If you look at that price history graph of Ethereum, and I could have put up Bitcoin, I could have put up a lot of the top cryptos. What you see is a long-term trend of growth. That's what you see. You'll also see massive short-term volatility. And one of my students is in my DeFi Academy, and she graduated onto my Kings of DeFi course. And she's a former Wall Street analyst, 25 years in the business, one of the top analysts. And she comes on and she talks on our Zoom calls and talks about what's going on. And she said, Brian, crypto is the most volatile asset we've ever seen. Period. That's what she says. I've never seen anything as volatile. She's been in the markets for 25 years. So you've got to deal with these short-term price movements, but you've got to also understand that long-term, these assets are going up and up and up. So you have to stay calm and look for buying opportunities when these markets come off. And you also have to stay the course and also put in your stop loss orders, which is what we teach inside the academy. So it's a great question. And the best way to do that is we have people that we can talk to on a daily basis, a peer group that we can trade with and show our positions. And that's what we do. So it's a great question. I got Alex Shako on Instagram who says, I'm in Canada. What are stable coins? Great question. And what's a good starting amount when investing in these assets? So Ali, a stable coin is something that's directly linked to the US dollar. So I recently had Jeremy Allaire, the founder of Circle, on my show, and he created USDC, which is one of the largest stablecoin protocols in the world. Every time you buy a USDC, which is a cryptocurrency asset, they go buy $1 worth of a US Treasury, and they hold it in custody, and that way your crypto mirrors that US currency and that US denominated debt. That's an incredible asset to have when times are difficult, because you can move that thing across borders on your hot wallet in your phone without a government trying to tell you not to. This is one of the many things we teach in week 2 inside our academy. If you don't know what a stable coin is right now, you should be in my academy, is what you should. My mom is 78. She owns stable coins. My daughter is 17. She owns stable coins. I own stable coins. All my Academy members own stable coins. And trust me, every citizen in the Ukraine right now in Russia wishes they own stable coins, because that's an asset that is not going to be controlled by a government. It's not going to be devaluated. It's going to be able to be moved border to border. And in times of crisis, and let's be honest, these days there's a crisis every week. There's a crisis in Canada, in one of the most stable countries in the world. You need to understand this. Stop postponing your education in crypto. So many people are like, yeah, I'll get to that a year from now. Oh yeah, crypto, I hear that's a way to make quick money. No. You're missing the point. Crypto is your way to have financial freedom. And without financial freedom, you cannot have freedom of speech. You cannot have free and fair elections. You cannot have any freedom without financial freedom. This is important. Invest in yourself today and get that education. That's why we have our 4-week blockchain boot camp inside my Crypto Academy. So great question, Ali. I appreciate that. Didn't mean to go off on you, but you should know what a stable coin is right now. All right? And if you're one of my friends, I've already sent you some stable coins for free, because I like to educate people in that way. Garrett Blackburn on YouTube, it says, in your opinion, what would happen to crypto value if the dollar ever crashed? Well, dollar crashing isn't interesting, but crashed against what? That's my question. Crashed against the ruble? Crashed against the euro? Crashed against what? The dollar still remains one of the safest asset classes in the world, along with the U.S. Treasury securities. So, yeah, my question is, crashing against what? I doubt it's going to crash against the ruble anytime soon. I doubt it's going to crash against the euro anytime soon. Sure, the dollar has its own problems, don't get me wrong, which is why we have crypto assets, right? And I think crypto assets are a great piece to have in your portfolio if you only have dollars, or you only have real estate, or you only have stocks. So a great question. Again, I believe crypto is an incredible asset to have for the future. I'm not a financial advisor. It's not financial advice. Learn about this stuff in my academy. Great questions here. Indiana Jones 1320 on Instagram says, how much does it cost to join our academy? Click the link below, londonreal.tv/DeFi. All the information is there. It takes you 60 seconds to apply. Trust me, it's probably a day's worth of P&L in your crypto portfolio. Easily the highest rate of return you'll have on any investment in your life. And it's too cheap, in my opinion. So great question, Indiana. Seriously, join today. This is honestly about creating generational wealth and about keeping your financial freedom, both of which are priceless, in my opinion. Stephen Golding on Zoom says, just like COVID, buy the dip and hold. Great point, Stephen. I didn't even mention the COVID crisis and how equities came off in March of 2020. If it wasn't for your channel and David Icke, I don't think I would have invested as much as I did in crypto in 2020. Thank you so much, Stephen. I appreciate that. And again, another great example. COVID crisis of March 2020. Look at the way the markets came off. Look at the panic. A lot of people bought, and a lot of people did really well on the back of that trade. So it's a great point. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, but it's important to look at the history to stay calm in these times of panic. And I appreciate your insight there, Stephen. A couple more questions. I want to get to our last part here. Joseph Wayman on Zoom says, I think it's a good time in crypto. Excellent buying opportunity. I appreciate your thoughts there, Joseph. I got Nikki Shepard here on Zoom as well. Says, what is the best crypto to buy to begin the journey of getting used to trading, as I've been in a kind of fear of letting money go, but I'm not the same since COVID, and I know it's time. Nikki, in my academy, I have something called blue chips in crypto, and this is what I call Bitcoin and Ethereum. And those are the most stable cryptos you can trade. Now, don't get me wrong. There's nothing safe about crypto. It's a highly volatile asset. But if you're going to start, I always start people in stable coins, in Bitcoin, and Ethereum. They are the most stable assets in a very unstable asset class. Also, if you're friends of mine, I would have first given you stablecoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin. Start playing with it. Start trading with it. Start understanding it. And then grow into your portfolio, your other investments, your layer ones, your NFTs, your metaverse plays. Everything comes on the back of that. But you got to start somewhere. I've been teaching this for coming up on a year. Are you still waiting a whole year before you invest in your education? Are you going to wait until next year? Are you going to wait until the next invasion 5 years from now before you have your money rights? It's ridiculous. You got to start now. You cannot call yourself a responsible parent, father, husband, wife, grandparent, leader, teacher if you're not invested in crypto. It's irresponsible if you don't understand these asset classes and don't have investments. So start now. Like I said, we have a course. In 4 weeks, you can be literally an expert in this stuff. And I teach you personally, live calls, amazing community. We hold you accountable. You take action. So great questions. There's a link below. Join my course tonight, londonreal.tv/DeFi. Takes 60 seconds to apply. I read the applications myself. If I accept you, join. The rest will be history. We got amazing students here, hundreds of graduates that are crushing it right now. I got Charlene C, 1977 here on Instagram, says the DeFi Academy is brilliant. Charlene is brilliant. We really appreciate you, Charlene. Again, DeFi Academy graduate, Kings of DeFi member. Charlene's going to just be a huge part of what we're doing in the future, and we appreciate you. I got Harsh on YouTube. It says, Brian, loving your Kings course. What a mentor. Thank you, Harsh. We appreciate you being there. And our Kings of DeFi is where we do all the fun stuff in the background. That's why we're investing in early stage protocols. That's where we're doing NFTs. Just had a gong there in my studio. Someone just joined our course. They'll be starting us tonight. And by the way, inside my course, we mint NFTs. We sell NFTs. We do technical trading. We do advanced options trading. We do influencer management. Some of my students are starting their own funds, trading crypto, millions of dollars of crypto. All started with them taking the leap into my course. Literally one click away from this whole thing being your future. I love these buying opportunities, quite frankly. I love where crypto is right now. But don't wait. Don't sleep on this. Don't even wait another week. So great getting the love here. I appreciate all you guys. We got a London Real army out there. We got a crypto army inside London Real and the DeFi Academy as well, and we appreciate you. I got Joanna Lavin on Zoom, says, thank you, Brian. After listening to you, I'm ready to commit to your DeFi Academy. Joanna, pull the trigger and join us tonight. I'll literally see you on the Zoom call. I'll be wearing this suit and tie because it's happening in 6 hours. I'm going to go train, do some boxing, and I'll be back ready for you guys at 6 p.m. and we're going to go on this incredible journey. And that was Kelly that just joined our Crypto and DeFi Academy. Kelly, thank you for joining the trigger, joining the course and pulling the trigger. If you're still listening to me here, I'm almost done with this broadcast. Click the link below and join us. All right, my last point. This is probably the most important point I'm going to make, so pay attention. The real war being fought right now is not in Ukraine. It's not being fought by Russian troops. The real war right now is an information war. And guess what, folks? It's being fought right now on these things, mobile devices. How many people have one of these in your pocket right now? You all do. And guess what? The war is being brought to your phone. Guess what? Thank you to Facebook and YouTube and Instagram and TikTok. Thank you to our social media platforms. The war is being brought right to your phone. And this war has been waged for years and years and years by the Russians, by the Chinese, even by my fellow Americans. The information war for your attention and what's going on in your heads. Now, what are you talking about, Brian? Well, in 2020, we fought for freedom of speech. We were on the front lines here in London. And I'll tell you, it looked like a war zone here. There was no one on the streets. I had to fight to get into work every day. We were broadcasting. There were people trying to shut us down. There were people literally talking about putting us in jail and banning our platforms, and we were putting out information out there because other people didn't want you to get that information. It was a war, and it's still being played out to this day. And always you need to remind yourself that the real war is happening inside your brain, and everything else is to magnify that information war because people want you to panic. They want you to be scared. They want an agenda for your time. They want to use this as power against you. And in my mind, this is what President Putin is doing right now. He's using this whole thing as an information war. He can put troops in, he can show some bombs, he can show some tanks, and now all of a sudden you see headlines like this one. New York Times yesterday, you see a big headline in the news. Russian troops enter Kiev, which is true, but it's also a way of getting your attention, of hijacking your dopamine and your panic hormones and getting your attention and getting you to do something on the back of it. Worry, trade crypto, click on a link, buy more subscriptions for these media platforms. It's all an information war, and never understand that it's anything different. More headlines. This one today from London, from the Times of London. Putin puts nuclear force on alerts. You got my attention, right? Nuclear war. Nobody wants this. This is terrifying. Guess what? It just got your interruption. It just got your attention. You're probably trading on the back of it. You're probably buying more news subscriptions, and you're now going to listen to more of what they tell you and do more of what they say. Be careful of this. Next headline, The Guardian today. What do we see as a picture? Troops with what looks like a civilian on the ground with a machine gun to their head, right? This is designed to scare you, terrify you, panic you, and get you to behave with your lizard brain and panic, make poor decisions about your finance, about your health, about who you listen to, about who you trust. The last one that came up today is another information war. It's showing you people in Russia lined up to take their money out of their bank accounts. Russia hikes interest rates after ruble slumps. This is a bit of an information war being run by the West to scare the citizens in Russia and to show Putin, guess what? Two people can play at your information war. You send in the tanks, we send people to take rubles out of your economy. You hit us here, we're going to hit you there. This is an information war, and guess what? All of us are being used as pawns in their war. So I'm not saying don't have empathy for our brothers and sisters in the ground in Ukraine. We send out them lots of support and lots of love. And again, your home should not be being invaded. You should not be subject to violence, and we support you 100%. But we also refuse to be used as pawns in an information war to get us to make decisions that we don't want to make. Case in point, the best thing that ever happened to Boris Johnson here in London was the war in Ukraine, because guess what? All of a sudden, nobody wants him to be held accountable for the lies he was giving to the citizens here in London when he told us to be on lockdown and he was having parties with his staff. Now he's got an information war and he can talk about Ukraine. And guess what? You're going to pay attention to something else in the meantime, not to his leadership. Great case in point. So remember, this information war is being played out in your brain if you allow it to be played out. So all of these pieces of information are designed to get you to make decisions against your better nature, against your will, against the intelligent thing to do. It's designed to get you to sell crypto, not hold your prime minister to account for his poor actions. It's designed to get you to panic, to click on things, to give blind faith to your media institutions when they tell you, what are they going to tell you to do next, right? What does our mainstream media always tell us what to do? How to vote, what to do with your sovereign body, right? What to wear over your face. This is what they do. So again, understand this is an information war. Understand that you should have an information diet. This is something we teach inside my Crypto and DeFi Academy. You should choose the information sources, not let those information sources choose you. And every time you let the television go on in the background, especially from the BBC, that's no longer objective, state-run propaganda news media source known as the British Broadcasting Corporation. Again, every time you let that television play out or you click on that news media headline, guess what? It's someone else's agenda for your brain. And again, you can listen to this, but you make the choices. And that means when you choose to buy or sell your crypto, you make the choice. When you choose to believe in a headline, and guess what? Not everything that's printed by the mainstream media is true. I would say about 5% of it is true. And I saw what they printed about me when I ran to be the next mayor of London. About 95% of it was not true. But it was used to get you to panic, to get you to be emotional, to get you to be angry, sad, in fear. And once they have you in that state of panic, that lizard brain mentality, guess what? You'll do anything. You'll do anything they say. You'll buy something they say. You'll, again, treat your body in a way they say. You'll take actions that they say. So see if you can divorce yourself from that information agenda. See if you can be objective. And that means so many things. Process this information. Make an intelligent decision about your body, about your freedom, about your vote, about your sovereignty, and about your crypto. Don't panic. Make a long-term measured decision. This is what we've been doing here at London Real for 10 years. The last 2 years, we've been putting out information so you can make the correct decisions, not the information that the mainstream sources and the governments try to give you to have you make those short-term decisions. So again, this is what we do here. We try to give you the real information. And guess what? I assume you're intelligent enough to make those decisions yourself. And that's what we're doing right now inside the Crypto and DeFi Academy. I am teaching students how to make long-term decisions, 10-year outlooks, to create generational wealth for themselves. I'm saying don't worry about the price of Bitcoin today. Let's worry about the price of Bitcoin 10 years from now. Yes, Bitcoin was down last week. So was the S&P 500. Are these great buying opportunities? Perhaps. Is crypto here to stay? Yes. Is decentralized finance a reality in the future? Yes. Is blockchain going to change the whole world? Yes. We know this. Is it going to take a few years? Yes. And that's okay with us. Come talk to me in 2032 and we can compare bank accounts And we know that everyone inside our Crypto and DeFi Academy is going to be where they want to be with generational wealth and help us build that decentralized financial infrastructure of the future. And so I hope that helps as far as the information more. I'd love to go to a final set of questions here. Ask me, tell me, first of all, are you making panic decisions when it comes to trading crypto? Are you making poor decisions when it comes to crypto trading and in this time of war and crisis? Do you believe that right now we have an incredible buying opportunity? And how would you like to learn from me about how to profit DeFi and the greatest dislocation of wealth in human history? Please leave your comments. I'd love to find out what you're thinking here. I want to cut to a couple really quickly here. I got Atropolis on Instagram that says, current student of Kings, former Academy student. The course is absolutely fire. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you, Atropolis. And you are absolutely crushing it inside of Kings and the investment club, if I do say so myself. Again, we've got an amazing group of high-level people here. We've got people that are new to crypto. We've got fund managers. We've got people that have created crypto apps and dApps. We've got people all around the world, and we appreciate you being there. I got Manuel Tremoya, my man in Malaga, on Zoom that says, yes, it's great to buy with discipline and order like Brian told us. You are a great mentor, Brian. Manuel, we appreciate you. And again, Manuel, I'm telling you, 10 years from now, he's going to be one of the kings of DeFi down there in Spain and in Malaga, and he's doing great things. You're doing everything we're teaching here, Manuel, which is to become a part of this decentralized financial infrastructure, help us build it, create generational wealth, and again, buy for the long-term perspective. These are short-term moves, and we know that. I got Paul Mazin on Instagram that says, where do you get these suits and shirts? Paul, I got a great tailor. I'm here in London. I met him through London Real, and his name is John Kent. I'll tell you more of those stories later, but thank you. Look, I think you need to show up every day. That means in your dress, that means in your outlook, that means in your content. And I teach almost every single day of the week, so that's why I dress up, because you guys are worth it, all right? And so I appreciate you noticing, and I hope it helps. Gong just went there. Frederick just joined the Crypto and DeFi Academy. Frederick, I need you to get in there and watch the course material. I need you to be ready for me tonight, 6 p.m. on Zoom. That's cameras on. We got a big community here, and we got a lot of work to do in the next 4 weeks to get you up to speed in crypto. Also, could be some great buying opportunities right now. So great for you to join us there, Frederick. If you want to join Frederick and Manuel and Atropolis and all these other people inside our academy, click the link below or londonreal.tv/DeFi. Submit your application, 60 seconds. I'll go read it when I'm done here and hopefully get you on the call tonight. Couple final questions here. I got the MJ Peters on Instagram that says, this is great. Thank you, MJ. I got Maximum Life Official on Instagram that says, always the best, Brian. Thank you so much. And I got Maria Nuri on Instagram that says, I agree with you 100%. And look, I want to finish with these really final important thoughts, which is this. Some of these topics and everything here is what I cover inside my new DeFi Academy. And this is where you want to be. You can apply today to join my DeFi Academy. Click the link below or go to londonreal.tv/DeFi. This is where you want to do it. 60 seconds. Seriously, you can join an amazing group of people. You can get in on crypto right now. I'm going to show you how to profit and trade from crypto and DeFi inside my academy. This is the greatest dislocation of wealth in human history. Ultimately, folks, this is about freedom. This is about financial freedom. Without that, you have nothing. If you have financial freedom, you can do whatever you want in life. You can have freedom of speech. Again, you can choose who you want to be your elected officials. You can do what you want with your money, but you got to have financial freedom first. So that's key. If you join me, I'm going to teach you how to profit from this amazing dislocation of wealth in human history. But I want to be clear up front. My academy is not for you if you're one of the following people. If you are a crypto day trader, this is not for you. I do not want crypto day traders in my academy. You're a waste of time. Go somewhere else. You can lose money most places. 90% of crypto day traders lose money because they trade on the back of news headlines, because they panic. They trade on emotions. They trade out of fear. That's not what I'm looking for, so go somewhere else. If you want to get rich quick, please go somewhere else. That's not what we're doing here on the DeFi Academy. We're taking 10 years to create generational wealth and build the infrastructure of the future. If you're a forum troll, or if you love to play around with meme coins, go somewhere else. If you're an academic or a crypto fanboy, please, again, go somewhere else. I'm looking for people that want to pull the trigger, that want to get into the arena, that want to literally buy some stable coins and cryptocurrency assets now, this week. They want to start using them. They want to get yield. They want hot wallets, cold wallets. They want to be held accountable. They want my team leaders. They want to connect with hundreds of students from around the world in over 50 countries and literally build the decentralized financial infrastructure of the future. That's what I'm doing right now. We have early stage investments. I'm talking to the best in the business. Have you been paying attention? The last year, I've had the top CEOs and founders of all the major crypto protocols on my show. We are making this happen, and this is your chance to join us behind the scenes. And again, I have an elite group of people. Do you want to join me? This is your chance. It's a 4-week blockchain boot camp, and you can be part of what I'm calling the greatest dislocation of wealth in human history. Pull the trigger now. I'm telling you, click the link below, londonreal.tv/DeFi, DEFI. Take 60 seconds, apply now. And let me quickly tell you what you're going to get because we move super fast. First of all, the call is tonight, 6 p.m. You're going to be introduced to literally hundreds of students inside the DeFi Academy over the course of the following couple months. And I'm going to walk you through 4 weeks and 4 modules, and it goes fast. The first week is this, DeFi Explained. It's decoding the complex marketplace of crypto and DeFi in the future. I walk you all the way from the creation of Bitcoin back in 2008, 2009, up to Ethereum, up to stable coins, up to everything. The DeFi summer of 2020, up to where we are today. This is an incredible way to get up to speed on all things crypto. And that's week 1. Week 2, I get really down and dirty and we get into the arena and you start buying Bitcoin, Ethereum, stablecoin. I show you how to bulletproof and understand your hot and cold wallet storage systems. You understand centralized exchanges, decentralized exchanges, and you execute your very first swap. Yes, on multiple platforms. This is a decentralized exchange swap. Most people can't believe they're doing that in 2 weeks. But guess what? We're only getting warmed up. Week 3, we really get interesting. We go deep into decentralized exchanges, dApps, yield farming, complex instruments like liquidity pools, and you trade your first option on crypto. Yep, you heard that here, right? You're going to finance your coins. Complex money markets explained, liquidity pools, smart contracts, and options trading and synthetics. That all happens in week 3. And of course, that brings us to the final week, week 4, is to how to position your portfolio for the future. This is my 10-coin rule. What assets to invest in, what not to invest in. This is asymmetric trades for long-term gains. This is the management of your portfolio. This is stop loss orders. This is your 30-day watch list. This is your community peer trading group. This is P&L that we're transparent with every single day. This is how you set yourself up to create that generational wealth of the future. But there's also more. If you do all that stuff, I send you my bonus module, which is how I personally trade for long-term investments, my positions, my outlooks, my missions, literally my stop losses. You get to see everything there. And if you graduate from my academy, guess what? There's more. You can join my transparent peer trading groups for the future. The first is my DeFi Investment Wizards group. This is hundreds and hundreds of my former graduates. You are not allowed in my program unless you've graduated from my academy. That means you have a real name, a real background, a real portfolio, real P&Ls, and this is how we do really well. These are my students that are making a lot of money investing in crypto and DeFi, and that goes from DeFi Investment Wizards into Kings of DeFi into my investment club, where they invest early stage with London Real Ventures into the long-term future. We already have portfolio companies that we are investing via pre-sale tokens. This is incredible what's happening here. Just to wrap up here, if you join my Crypto and DeFi Academy, it's a 4-week blockchain bootcamp. You get access to me, 2 hours of live calls with me every single week. You get my triple tiered accountability service. You get my team leaders. You set up wallets. You take action. Personal coaching by me, dedicated leaders. It's absolutely incredible. This course is the cheapest thing you'll ever buy. It's the best academy out there. You'll easily see a massive return because when you invest in yourself, you invest in the future. This is about creating generational wealth and helping me build the decentralized financial infrastructure of the future. Apply now. Click the link below. It's londonreal.tv/DeFi. It takes 60 seconds. I'll go read the application right now. If you've been accepted, I'm telling you, click the link and buy now. I'm shutting this thing down. 4 weeks from now, you can be an expert. You can own the stable coins. You can own the Bitcoin. You can be with me behind the scenes making these investments. These are amazing opportunities right now for blockchain. And I can't wait to get started with all of these protocols. It's amazing. So click the link below. Go to londonreal.tv/DeFi. Apply. And the last question I got for you to say is this. Right now, we're seeing this crisis situation. I'm guessing 6 months from now, we'll look back and say, wow, wish I had bought at these levels. Some amazing buying opportunities, right? You also might have wished you would have gotten an education in crypto. And you're like, oh yeah, I still haven't never got into crypto. I still never took Brian's course. Look, life all comes down to a few moments. This is one of them. This is your chance to invest in crypto and DeFi right now. And I always go back to my favorite movie, the movie Wall Street, where Bud Fox goes into Gordon Gekko's office and he pitches him. And he said, look, Gordon, I know you're my mentor. I've always wanted to do business with a man like you. Teach me about money and teach me about finance. And guess what? Gordon does teach Bud about finance, and he creates generational wealth. And this is your opportunity. Don't let it slip you by. I'm telling you, what have we learned from the citizens of Ukraine, the citizens of Russia, the citizens of Canada? In the last month alone, you need financial freedom now. Is this going to happen in your country in the next month? Do you want to make sure you have your financial assets in order? Do you want to make sure you have a hot wallet with some crypto assets that might literally save your life, save your family, save your future? Folks, this is no longer an exercise in financial education. This is an exercise in your very survival, your right to be a human, your right to express yourself, your own freedom is what this is all about. And so this is something you need to embrace right now and take advantage of. And so I would say this is your last chance. Click this link below, go to londonreal.tv/DeFi and apply to this course. If you've been accepted, I'm telling you, join this course now. Click on the link, put in those digits of that plastic, and seriously, pay the price to action and join me on this course. It's only for those that are willing to pull the trigger and pay the price to action. If you're watching me now, apply. Take 60 seconds. If you get accepted, join us on this journey. I'm telling you, 10 years from now, you're going to be saying this is probably one of the best decisions I've made of my whole life. I love crypto and DeFi. I love our 4-week blockchain bootcamp. I love my students in the academy. So I want to finish by saying big love to all of my hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of graduates of the DeFi Academy, all the people in my DeFi Market Wizards, all the people in my Kings of DeFi, all the people in my investment club that are investing with me early stage, all of the portfolio companies in our London Real Ventures. I want to say thank you. We are so excited about this sector. This is the future. And we are investing now. We are investing tomorrow. We are investing next week because we love these protocols. And we believe this is not only a shift in technology, but a shift in the very paradigm of who we are as humans. We're taking control of our money. We're saying no to banks. We're saying no to governments. We're saying no to media companies who try to control us. We want to take ownership of our money, and we're going to exchange money in a peer-to-peer fashion via crypto because I know who you are and I trust you. I don't trust the middleman. And that's why we're taking control of our finances. Lastly, I want to send peace and love and support to all of our brothers and sisters in the Ukraine that are fighting the good fight. Again, tyranny will not prevail. Violence is not an option. It's not acceptable. And we send you lots of power and support. There's a lot of great things happening in crypto to actually empower you as well. So send into our power and love all to our community as well. And we support what you're doing. And again, this tyranny won't prevail. And again, we're seeing a lot of tyranny when it comes to information, military work, trying to control our minds with this type of oppression and fear and panic. And at London Real, we don't put up with it. We don't accept it. We always fight back against it. And so we're fighting with you shoulder to shoulder on this. We're fighting on the information war. We're fighting on the finance war, on the crypto war. And we're here to back you 100% and to make sure that you have options in the future, whether you're in Ukraine or you're in Russia or you're in Canada or you're in the US or here in the UK or in any country around the world. You should have that basic financial education that can protect you from any type of invasion. One on the streets, one inside your bank account, one inside your brain. That's what we're doing here. We want to protect you from that future. And it's coming, folks. Trust me, it's coming. It's coming through our information sources. It's coming through the closed metaverse of the future. And our friends over at Meta, over at Facebook are going to try to control our narrative. It's coming from all of our technology platforms, our governments, our financial institutions, our banks that are trying to control us and control our brains and control our freedom. Well, we say no to that inside the DeFi Academy. We say no to that inside London Real. And we want to give you the power and the information and the financial tools to fight back against that. And so if you want to be a part of this journey, if you want to support us through this fight for our freedom, this fight for financial freedom, then join us, inside the Crypto and DeFi Academy. Join us in any way possible. Share this video. Learn. That's the best thing you can do. Invest in your own education. Start learning today. That's the best way we can arm ourselves against any type of oppression in the future. Again, that could be a future oppression via violence, via information, via our finances. And if we arm ourselves against that, we're always going to be okay in the future. So thank you so much. I appreciate everyone's support from there. Until then, we'll be here doing what we do, broadcasting, teaching, fighting back. And I wish everybody lots of love, lots of support. But again, take ownership of this with your own minds, educate yourself, invest in this future today. And if we do that, the future looks amazing and the future looks bright. So big love. I'll see you next time on DeFi Real. Thank you so much. Take care.